Hello there guys, what is going on? Son of Chelsea back here again for another edition of my team selector ahead of the game away to West Brom tomorrow night in the Premier League. I think this is a great opportunity for Chelsea, considering the opposition, considering our performance in midweek. Hopefully there's going to be confidence and a bit more freshness within the squad to really go out there tomorrow and I think put out a confident attacking display. I want to see control, I want to see a bit more expression, a bit more intensity and just a little bit more dominance by Chelsea, because even in the victory against Brighton, it wasn't a convincing performance, was it? So hopefully with a little bit more sharpness within the squad, we'll see that tomorrow night and get the 3 points. But before we get into my team selector, I want to ask you guys, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Also hit the like button if you're enjoying the content, because it helps out the channel as well. So Frank Lampard's pre-match press conference, after we got through the wasted questions from journalists about transfer speculation, which Lampard never responds to, the big thing to come out of that press conference was that Frank Lampard confirmed that still no Hakim Ziyech or Christian Pulisic for this game. Both of them now are training with the first team, which is good at Cobham, but just not ready, match fit for this game. I think managing their fitness is important, and I think with the amount of games Chelsea have, considering it's a quick turnaround to the Spurs game in the League Cup on Tuesday, potentially either of those could feature in that game or the next Premier League game at home in a week's time. So of course it's disappointing not to have these players yet, but I think considering managing their fitness in what is going to be a very intense season, going to be key attacking players for us, I think that's the wise move, to be honest. And it's a tight turnaround of games, isn't it? Because you think players that don't feature tomorrow night could feature heavily on Tuesday, and that's the need for rotation, how key rotation is going to be in this season, how congested it is. Looking at West Brom though, they've already conceded 8 goals in 2 games. Of course, losing the first game at home to Leicester 3-0 and last season getting thumped 5-2. Of course, they did lose a player in Kieran Gibbs being sent off in the first half, but they look really exposed at that back line, and hopefully that's something Chelsea can exploit. The likes of Timo Werner, potentially Kai Havertz and other players as well, getting confidence, getting space tomorrow night. That's going to be the hope for me, because this is a team who are really struggling with the intensity and the quality of the league. We have struggled at the Hawthorns in the past. It was a bit of a bogey ground over a number of years when they were consistently in the league. Of course, the team has changed now. Tony Pulis no longer there, but I do want to speak about Chelsea connections at West Brom. Firstly, Branislav Ivanovic, Chelsea legend, returning to English football. Great to see him back, and hopefully he'll be featuring tomorrow. Let's hope he doesn't have too much of a good game, but also Conor Gallagher getting the loan there, which hopefully will be good for him. I think it's going to be a difficult season for West Brom, but I think it'll be good for Conor Gallagher's development if he gets lots of minutes. But let's get into my team. 4-2-3-1 is going to be my formation. I think it works so effectively in midweek against Barnsley, especially for certain players, and I want to keep some of that chemistry going into this Premier League game. In goal, no Mendy. It's going to be Willy Caballero for me, because Mendy, Frank Lampard confirmed, not really ready for this game, has barely trained with the first team. Obviously had a very intense week, hectic week, transferring from Rennes to Chelsea, so got to give him some time. I wouldn't be stunned if he's involved against Spurs on Tuesday, but got to be patient about that. Now moving on to the defence, Reece James at right back. Back to Frank has a lot of options here. He did confirm that Thiago Silva could start this game, has the fitness to start this game, but I just going to lean in the direction of Fikayo Tomori and Kurt Zouma. I love this partnership last season. I think they did pretty well last weekend in difficult circumstances, to be honest. And it was great to see Tomori play again in midweek. So I think they'll probably be the fresher to go. I think Christensen, based on his mistake last weekend, I don't think will be starting this game, to be honest. And that's the back two I'd like to see. I think Thiago Silva right on the edge of getting into that first team, but I just think this may once again be a little bit too soon for him. Left back is going to be Ben Chilwell though. Frank did say Ben Chilwell and Silva could both start this game. He did say and admit that he's looking to be a little bit more cautious with Chilwell, but I'd love to see Chilwell start. I think already you sort of see that acceleration and that impact he had in midweek, setting up a goal for Olivier Giroud. So I'd love to see one of these two starting. For me, Ben Chilwell in my starting 11. Midfield 2 for me is going to be Mateo Kovacic and N'Golo Kante. Of course, this is very relevant to Declan Rice, but just looking at this game, I think in terms of balance and adding that attacking within there, creativity within there, and progression within there, in terms of having the connector of Kovacic between defence and attack, I think that's the big thing for me with Cover. And I think if you're going to play a 2, I think that exposes Jorginho too much. I think Chelsea will dominate the ball in this game, but I just think those are the best 2 at the current time, considering the squad. Moving into the 3 behind the striker, I think it's going to be Mason Mount. And I know people want Callum Hudson-ODOI. I don't think Hudson-ODOI had a poor game against Barnsley. And this is the difficulty, isn't it? I mean, consistent games. I think he potentially will start the game against Spurs. I think he has a very good opportunity to do that. But I just think Mason Mount still, for me, impressed more than Callum Hudson-ODOI on that night. So I think he'll start on the right. For me, obviously, at number 10, hat-trick hero Kai Havertz. What a wonderful night he had on Wednesday. And let's hope he can follow it up with a really strong performance. His first in the Premier League, maybe a first Premier League goal or assist. Left wing, I'm going to play Timo Werner. I want to see Werner out wide like he did against Liverpool. Hopefully, with who I'm playing up top, he'll have a little bit more space this time, of course, against lower opposition. I think he'll get lots of space and lots of time, and I think this can be a really threatening attack for Chelsea. I really think it can. Mount, Havertz, Werner buzzing all around. I think there's a lot of great movement there, fluidity to go with it, which is what Frank Lampard wants this season. And up front for me, 4-2-3-1. The main reason for playing this formation for me personally is to get Tammy Abraham in the starting 11, because the connection between him and Kai Havertz was really encouraging, and I think this is going to be something that can work for Chelsea, at least for the short term, until maybe Christian Pulisic and Hakim Ziyech are available. I think Frank will want to continue this in this game. I think it just works so well, and yes, you can throw the caveats about the opposition, but I just think their natural link already on the pitch was really encouraging, exciting, and can cause teams a lot of problems. So Tammy very much earned his spot for me in the starting 11 after his performance on Wednesday. But that is my starting 11 for the game against West Brom tomorrow night. Please let me know your lineups in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you never miss an upload. Follow me on Twitter at SonOfChelsea, and I'll see you again.